Car loans are fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, look, car loans are expensive. I think the way I've written about it in the book is that for a lot of people, first things first, car loans are part of the deal. You need a car, you got to get around, you got to drop your kids at school, you need to go to the shops, you need to go to work.
To be clear, cars are part of the deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said. I mean, I think
as small a loan as possible is part of the deal.
That's right. I think what you see in the car loan space is not. You see a lot of bad stuff. You see a lot of high interest rates and bad terms, balloon payments and fees and all these sorts of things. And more people are taking them on. There's a few numbers in the book about how big they're growing. And I think it's really hard because new cars are the more expensive ones. New cars are the safer ones. You want them. I understand that. But the car loans hold us back in ways that we rarely think about. Like, I do a bit of a thing in the book where we talk about how much the average person is spending on a car loan. Let's forget, the registration and the cost of keeping it on the road with tolls and the cost of filling it up with fuel, all that sort of stuff. But the car loan is an amount of money that if you took it away from a car and put it into a mortgage, that would be a very big difference. A couple $100,000 on the median,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're now talking about maybe I don't need to live so far away. That means that I need that car. Maybe I am able to live closer into a place that gets me to work on public transport more easily, puts me in a school zone that's kind of better for my family. I just think car loans are a massive amount of money. I mean, it's so often talked about that a car is the second biggest purchase we make, but it's not a purchase anymore. It's a subscription. You kind of have to keep on paying it all the time, and it's so much money every month. It's a painful amount of money, and of course the thing depreciates, which is the kicker at the end.
That taking out a loan to buy a depreciating asset is crazy.
Killer.
Yeah,
it's murder.
Yeah, I recognise that people need cars to get around. That's just the function of where people live and where their lives are these days. But I'm always reminded by the Morgan Housel quote that spending is the gap between your ego and your income. The fastest way to increase your savings is to increase your humility. And for me, that is a lesson in just get the cheapest possible car that is safe and that runs and that ticks all the boxes. But anything above that is just a function of ego.
I love that quote. That is such a great way of talking about it, because that's the problem with cars, is that it's not just a car, it's a representative of who I am. This is how I'm getting around town, and that's completely understandable because they're cool.
Yeah, they are.
I want them.
They're a status symbol.
I go past these massive Toyota 4-wheel drives and utes, and I think, I want one.
Yeah, that's how they get.
I have genuinely no business being in one of those cars. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they're cool, and you want them. I mean, but the problem, I think, is after that initial hit of getting the cool thing, it's just a car 6 months later, and the payments, my God, they stick around for a lot longer than that. I just think it's a big problem, and I call it fucked. And I don't call everything in the chat in the book fucked, but I'm pretty happy to stick by car loans being pretty fucked.
Yeah. I reckon it would lose the effect if everything you just said. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's also fucked.
I will say this about investing: everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.